セカンドストーリーに、セカンドストーリー OK ですか？セカンドストーリー OK？ それぞれいいのかな？はい、それぞれ。座ってやります。はい。どこから持ってくるんですか？
お願いがあるんです。ぜひ皆さんもご参加ください。悪魔がですね、こうパッと知恵を出しますから、みんなで「えーん!」って泣いてください。なるだけ大きい声で「えーん!」って泣いておきますと、悪魔も静かになります。じゃあ、よろしく。じゃあちょっと一度練習して、すいません、悪魔さんちょっと見せていただけますか。ありがとうございます。
じゃあスタートして、はい。どうぞ。
One morning, a small boy suddenly began to cry.
He did not seem hungry. His mother was perplexed. What's the matter? She asked.
But the boy could not talk yet, so she was unable to get an answer. She thought for some time, perhaps he wants a toy.
She telephoned a nearby toy shop and asked it to send her a wood drum. When the drum arrived, the boy stopped crying and began to beat it happily. The sight brought relief to his mother.
I'm glad. I thought you were ill, but all you wanted was a toy. But her peace of mind was short-lived. Before long, the boy threw the drum aside and started crying again.
He cried louder than before. So, you are tired of your drum, she said, and this time she sent for a toy lion. But although the boy stopped crying for a brief moment, he quickly threw the lion aside.
He cried louder still. The neighbors started to complain. Please keep your baby quiet. He's getting too noisome.
She made her apologies and shut all the windows of the house. But the boy's crying grew louder and louder until the window panes began to crack and shatter. It was terrible.
Panicking, she telephoned the toy shop again. Please send another toy around as quickly as possible. Anything will do.
The man from the toy shop came with a water pistol. The boy stopped crying and squirted water all around the room. But by now, his mother was past caring.
Meanwhile, his father had called a glazier who put thicker glass on walls and windows. This is strong glass. It won't break, said the glazier with pride.
But the boy, tiring of his water pistol, began to cry again, shattering the unbreakable panes. And then the windows of the neighboring houses began to crack. The father and mother were mortified. What could they do?
In the end, they telephoned the police for consultation. A police car and an ambulance came over at once. But even the silent one, nothing compared with the boy's cry.
He was put into the ambulance and taken to a large hospital. The doctors gathered to make all sorts of examinations, but none of them knew what might be the best treatment.
When he was given a new toy, his crying stopped for a while. But before long, he would throw it aside and cry again, even more loudly.
Toys were delivered by the truckload, but apart from buying a little time, they were no use whatever, and this could not go on forever. There was a limit to the variety
time, he found himself waiting for the next toy. He cried louder than before. Cracks began to appear in the concrete walls of the hospital building.
People who lived in the vicinity began to think of moving. The crying was so nerve-wracking that they could not do anything else. Some people tried to block out the sound with earplugs, but then they couldn't talk to one another anymore.
When it appeared that nothing could be done, they decided to appeal to the world for help. All sorts of weird toys were flown in from various countries, but all they were able to do was put off the commotion for a little while.
Taking advantage of the love, the neighbors all got together and consulted what is to be done. Even if we bring in toys from everywhere on earth, we'll run out eventually.
We are completely helpless. Every time he wants a new toy, his crying gets louder.
Soon it won't be just the hospital. All the buildings in town will fall down. But nobody was able to think of a cure for his crying.
His father and mother were utterly horrified by the annoyance he was causing, but they could think of no solution.
At last, the final moment came. The very last of all the toys sent from around the world was discarded. Everybody knew what was going to happen next and cringed in fear.
The crying was louder than ever before. The hospital building began to shake as if it was about to fall down. His parents, now beside themselves, sang to him.
There was nothing else they could do.
They could do. As soon as they did this, the crying stopped, and a look of sheer incredulity swept over everybody's face. When they realized he had really stopped crying, they all heaved a sigh of relief and burst out laughing.
So that was it. He wanted somebody to sing to him.
So all that fuss arose because nobody realized it and just kept giving him toys instead.
Peace descended on the town. The boy went home, and people returned to their houses. Buildings cracked by the crying were repaired, and everything returned to normal.
After a few days, the boy again started to cry, but this time his crying was not so loud.
His mother was not unduly disturbed. She began to sing to him what she heard sung in the hospital. But for some reason, he did not stop crying.
Puzzled, she tried singing another song. As soon as she did this, the crying stopped.
This brought her relief, but it was not to last long. Before much time had passed, he started to cry again.
It was a louder wail than the last. He seems to be demanding a new song.
Yeah.
Yes.
Last he seemed to be demanded a new song. そこでニューソング。ニューソング。You raise me up 行きましょう。この歌詞を一人さ、ここ座って。歌ってる。